What's your stream of conscious right now?
My stream of conscious right now is wondering if we have started the episode.
I think we officially have, guys. Welcome into episode 15 of Too Much Intimacy. We're your favorite Pillow Talk couple. I'm Jester, she's Phoebe. What's going on? This is Bubs. Bubs is saying hi for all the listeners out there.
Hey guys.
So what's the stream of consciousness that you were hoping not to get interrupted?
I don't know. I was just looking ahead. I was looking into my crystal ball.
You're looking into the future?
I was looking into the future and the past at the same time, and I was like, I feel like I've been in this situation before.
What situation?
Where we're about to record a podcast, and maybe I get a little too high.
Oh, yeah, we've definitely
Or maybe you get a little too high.
Oh, well, this is also true.
So I was just looking into all the alternate realities for a moment.
I think that I just finished an acting class, right? And the thing that I am always reminded in acting class, one of the most important notes, the only note you should ever get as an actor, not the only note, but the first note you should ever get as an actor, and you should always remind yourself, is to listen to your scene partner. And it's the hardest thing to do because you think that it's like, oh, of course I can listen, but you are used to those words coming out. You have to let the words hit you as if you're hearing them for the first time. And we spend so much time around each other. We have so many conversations, and then we add the eyeball of the podcast.
And we rehearsed these lines so many times.
We rehearsed these lines so many times.
We just wanted to come out naturally, like it's happening spontaneously in the moment.
Yeah.
But actually, the whole thing is scripted.
the whole thing is scripted. You guys got us. Sorry, I went off book there for a little bit, and she brought me right back into the scene. All right, let's take it from the top. Hey, guys, this is episode 15 of Too Much Into It. No, you don't want me to do the whole bit?
No.
All right.
I was just really surprised when you told me that some podcasts are entirely scripted. I was like, what?
Yeah. They're like the true crime podcasts.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I don't really think of that as a podcast. It's almost like an audiobook, but like a TV series.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I mean, the podcast, I feel like, has a very broad, I don't know if we've got...
broad-ass brush.
It's a broad-ass brush. I think that we got to start defining the different genres of podcasting. The different genres of music.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So this is
Do you think ChatGPT could do it for us?
Probably.
Because now that I don't have to use my brain as much anymore.
You're just going to let ChatGPT do all the thinking for you?
I'm going to work out my body more.
You're going to work out your hot body. That's good.
Let my brain get a little
This
lazy.
is the first time Bubs has tried to chew on the microphone cables.
He's trying to chew.
He tried to chew this guy briefly. He's so cute. We're going to have to clip these toenails, Bubs. You're getting a little bit sharp. What are we talking about?
I don't know. I just heard Bubs' toenails.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we were talking about getting too high to podcast. And listening. And you're listening to your scene partner.
Yes. We are world-class listeners.
We're world-class listeners.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get sarcastic with my gestures.
I didn't realize you were sarcastic. I thought you were honestly that I was a world-class listener. You really just broke my heart right there, Phoebes.
I'm getting really emphatic with my movements.
Do you think we do a good job listening on the podcast? Do you think we're better at listening on the podcast or in real life?
I think most of the time we're better on the podcast. Of course we're better on the podcast. Somebody is watching.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm always that good of a listener on the podcast because I get in my entertainer head.
Your tainer head?
My entertainer head.
Oh, I don't know.
My tainer head.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that.
No. So what do you want to talk about on this episode of the podcast? Now I'm only thinking of the things we're not supposed to talk about.
Okay. Um, I don't know, babe. I don't know what I want to talk about. I'm getting stage fright.
You're getting stage fright?
Okay.
I can take over.
You know what that makes me think of?
What?
We went to that a Beacon Rising choir concert today.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool.
That was very cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
Compass Arts is this incredible organization in Beacon.
I feel like should we be talking about the town that we live in?
We don't live in Beacon.
That's true.
We live in the Beacon area.
Okay, enough.
We live in the lower Hudson Valley. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're a fucking idiot. Just kidding. Or you just don't
care. I'm just staring at you with my angry eyes and trying not to speak
Tell me
out.
to shut up.
Speak your full name. But no, I just feel like I think I want to give a little, it's going to sound so cheesy, but give a little shout out or have a little acknowledgement of, I feel like the universe has been like really rolling out a lot of like blessings and like smooth sailings lately. I feel like
I'm glad you've been sailing smooth. I mean, I definitely see the blessings, but it has not been smooth sailing over on this side of the podcast. Okay. But let's talk more about the blessings.
I'm just thinking about how like I feel like since I started going to the run club, and like the first day I immediately made like made new close friends.
A whole gaggle worth.
And now when I go every week, I look forward to it, and we run, and we have like deep talks.
That's so nice.
We talk about like the real shit. Like we talk about death. We talk about multiple soulmates. Like our personal like deep personal stories.
Yeah.
Like anyway, I feel like I made a proclamation to invest in where we are. Like we moved here, it's been 3 years since we've been here, and I feel like the first year we made no friends. I was just like, my head was spinning.
We were planning the wedding.
We were dealing with a lot of stuff with our businesses. It was just like,
yeah, it was a wild year.
It was really intense emotionally for me, like mental health wise, and like just getting my bearings, moving to a new very little like village. And
all of our shit falling apart. We bought an old house, and all the appliances just slowly start to go one after another.
Yeah.
It was a wild
year
there. It was a tough first year.
But like I spent all this time, I feel like I spent multiple years living in this place where we live, being like, is this place Is this it?
You were very
this it? Is it good enough? Is it like, I'm noticing all these things that I don't like. These things are good. I'm just like in this weird questioning place. And I just decided, like, I don't remember how long ago it was, but probably at least 6 months. I was like, I'm just going to decide, like, it's time for me to be like, I'm investing in this place. It doesn't matter. I'm not like saying I'm going to live here for the rest of my life, but like I'm going to live as if I could, as if I will, and not be like not doing things because, oh, maybe this other place is better, and be like partially planning like, what areas over there, what can I get for my money over, you know what I mean? Like,
that's no way to live.
Anyway, were
you comparing it to the city, or were you comparing it to other places in the country?
All of the above. Of course, I'm going to compare it to previous places that I lived, and then also compare it to like the unfair standard of places that look amazing that I've never lived, where I have a fantasy of like, oh, my best life could be waiting for me if I moved there.
Yeah.
It's just like that mental trick of the grass is always greener on the other side.
So I have that with a lot of things, but I do not have that with location.
That's so very nice. That's very nice. And some of my friends, my new friends, they also have like, they're going through this, or they have just gone through this feeling of like questioning, and like I feel like since I decided, no, like this is it. I can see it. I can see a way that this would be it for me.
Yeah.
To like take me on my highest path, and I feel like I'm getting all these beautiful surprises now. Like we went to this Beacon Rising Choir concert. It was at Beacon High School, which I didn't realize, I'd never even seen the building. It's just down like 2 streets, 2 minutes away from where we drive every day.
Yeah.
And we drive down there and it's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous building.
It's a gorgeous building. It's big.
And there's enough trees between it and the prison that you don't notice the prison. Seriously, there's like a high school and a middle school like next door to.
It's kind of it's pretty crazy.
Pretty weird, man.
It's pretty crazy. But you know what I think? Okay, what felt beautiful to me about this choir concert. So to give a little bit of context, this choir, it's part of this thing called Compass Arts in Beacon, which is like a local organization, and they're like, I'm not going to do a very eloquent job of explaining this, but basically they're like very progressive. They're very lefty. Yeah. They're very like, they're trying to give access to everyone, like free access to the arts as like a way towards like liberation.
It's as if like, it's like they're the choir of the lefty church. If there was like, it's like they're like doing quarterly lefty church services.
But I think they might not be annoying lefties.
No, to me they're a little annoying. Just a little annoying.
Okay, well,
they're pretty good.
We went in there with different headspaces today.
It was true. I was tired. I was sick.
You were not feeling good. You were feeling very bad. You were basically attended the choir concert in the middle of a nap.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't I'm surprised I didn't ask to not go, and I'm surprised you didn't suggest that I didn't.
I almost suggested it, but I was like, he would say it if he didn't want to go, and I thought you would get mad at me.
Well, I did want to go. I wanted to support our friends who are in the choir, and I really do. I also want to be committing, like, investing in the local community, because like there was like the line to get in the high school, and it was really cool. I was so excited to go to the high school because you get to see. Like, what is this community? How is this community raising kids? You know?
Yeah, it was wild.
And it's really interesting. So I got really excited right at first because they had the Beacon Bulldog, like flags all over the thing, and it was like Beacon Athletics, Beacon this, and one of the first ones I saw was Beacon Art, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I hear about all these public schools where the arts are getting cut, but I'm going to a choir. You know, I'm going to a choir concert with it, and they're saying Beacon, and they had one for Beacon Theater, and that got me so excited. So, like, I just got really excited about being in this region, and like, you know, I am a really harsh critic of art, so you know, it's like it's hard for me to like integrate, it's a little. I'm a little nervous, like stepping into this territory because like my critic brain could be like, yeah, well, they weren't that good. You know, but they were they were beautiful. It's amazing. It's this awesome thing that that they're doing, and they're really bringing together the community in a really great way. And I feel like they're really, because they are, you know, pretty actively political. Yeah. It might make people a little bit uncomfortable, but it is also like it's galvanizing. You know, it's like they're building a very intentional community.
Yes.
You know, I think it is interesting that it makes me sad that like there are no men involved. The men are all off in the shadows because it makes me feel like I'm not invited into the space. And I get it. Like maybe it needs to be like a women only space or a women led space. Like that's fine. But like I'm someone who, if and when we have children, like I really want to be active part of the drama program. I really want to be an active part of the basketball program. And I like, you know, or, you know, whatever our kids are doing, I'm hopeful that it's drama. Like that's like, it holds a very special place in my heart. But I feel nervous that I wouldn't fit in, you know?
Oh, interesting. Because you think they're too progressive? They're too like
too
lefty?
Progressive. They're just like they're just like a little churchy about it. You know, they're just a little preachy about it.
Yeah, I think like
the thing is, our friend who is in it is not at all. Like to the point where I was really surprised that when we found out what it was,
all the stuff about the choir, we were like, whoa.
Yeah, I just thought it was like an arts organization, which is great, but they're really politically charging the art, which, hey, you know, that's fine. But like, if you're gonna do that, like, I have really strong opinions on how to engage with the political world,
Right.
And I think like, and I think some of them are like, not easy to hear from the like leftist bubble circle, because some of it's like, hey, get over this victim mentality thing. Like I want to wash out like, like there is this victim mentality thing in the left still, that just like comes off the page, and I'm just like, okay, that's not how I want to have my mindset. And art is the most important thing. Art is my church. Theater is my church, truly. That's the church in which I was raised. And like it's tough to look at it and see like mostly capitalistic musicals and stuff, and then just like it just feels like what the society is advertising. It feels like it's just the pills that they are feeding us, the outrage pills that they're feeding us. That's just why I see like commercial theater there and this, and it's just everywhere.
That's what you felt at the concert we went to?
No, not at the concert, but like in general, my feelings about the left, and clearly I feel very strongly about it, because like I was trying to put myself imagining like, okay, what if I went to like volunteer to teach acting, for like do something like that, try to get involved in that way. I'd be nervous to do it, because I just feel, I don't know. I guess I just feel nervous. I think wow, this is really embarrassing. This is really embarrassing.
I think that, I don't know, I think it makes sense. Like, it's a sensitive thing and it's a vulnerable thing to brush up against other people's like things that they feel very strongly by and like personally wounded sometimes by, It's just like a hard conversation to have when like so many things are inflamed right now, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to get accidentally labeled a Republican.
You don't want to get labeled a Republican?
I don't want. I'm afraid that I could get labeled as a Republican.
That would be so interesting to me if that happened.
I could see it.
I don't know. I feel weird about I don't want to really enter this like inner fight that you have going on in your head.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really like I think your political beliefs are very interesting, and I enjoy that we have similar views. I know not every couple is as fortunate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's wild. I mean, like, that is some people just live in couples where they argue about politics. It's probably healthy.
I don't know. I think it's different for everyone.
I think it's different for everyone, but like if you can disagree about politics and then realize that like, okay, the election isn't the most important thing going on, even if you vote for someone who I think is evil. You want me to?
No, I'm just thinking that I don't know that I want to talk about this right now.
Okay, so
because I could get into some. Yeah, I'm just thinking about me personally.
Well, I just got into some, so.
I don't think that I could, like, oh no, I can't say it.
You don't think you could live with someone who has different politics than you?
I think it depends how they believed in them, and how they articulated them and how they expressed them.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, there's just certain...
Because some people, like, I think that some people, they really want the same things.
Yeah.
And they just use different words, and they come from a different background, so they just see the like part of the story a little differently, but they actually want the same things. And then I think there's some people who don't really realize, or like they're not as connected to their hearts, and so they don't understand that like there is a dynamic where like certain people are in power and those people are benefiting from other people being out of power. Like there are people who I'm thinking about a friend told me that they have a friend who is in a relationship with someone who is a Trump supporter. Like their spouse is a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
And they are not. And they are a woman.
Yeah.
And there is like a difficult dynamic there because this person likes to be very verbal about it, and all their friends are not Trump supporters. So
yeah, it's awkward when there's a loud Trump supporter around.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is that bad? I'm like, you can be a Trump supporter, just be a quiet one.
Well, no. I mean, it's because we live in the anti-Trump bubble. If we lived in the Trump bubble, it would be weird to have a loud anti-Trump person.
Do you think that there are people that are similar to us in the Trump bubble that just think that oh, he's actually going to be the one because
Babe,
everything is opposite day in politics?
I have close friends who think this. I have close friends who are in the Trump bubble that I connect with very, very deeply, that I respect their intelligence, that, like I will have a conversation and yeah, definitely. I think we are way more alike than we think. I think the things that are dividing us are entirely being put up to divide us on purpose. I think we are being intentionally made to hate another side of the people. I think Trump's doing it on purpose.
You don't.
And that's my biggest problem with Trump. I think he is intentionally picking at the scab of division.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And I know this is not a sexy topic, so maybe we can take this train in a different direction, gradually, quickly. Anyway, I will ask you a question, which is, do you think that those very similar friends that are Trump supporters that you think have the same actual, values as you, they just are looking at it through a different lens?
Yeah.
Do you think that they are racist or
No.
what is that, agora, strangerophobic?
No. No.
You don't think they are?
No more than anyone else is naturally. There is a natural racism in all of us. It is not the 100,000-year history. Anytime ethnic groups have come up against each other and shared the same space, it has been difficult and violent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We are the ones that are trying to do something new here, so I don't throw around that word racist like that. I think it is unhealthy how we throw around that word racist right now. I think it contributes to people wanting to not engage with other groups of people. It contributes to the feeling I was trying to describe of ooh, I'm afraid I'll go in there and get labeled racist, if I accidentally say the wrong thing.
I do want to respond, but I want to just check in.
I guess I'm a little activated right now.
Yeah.
Did
I say something that upset you?
I think you just touched on a nerve. I'm not upset with you. But I think it's super interesting. I didn't really think we would go down talking about the politics
I
thing.
didn't either. I don't even know how we got here.
But I'm speaking more passionately about that than most things on the podcast. So
yeah.
But I want to have the discussion going. I'm not hurt. I mean, yeah, I have feelings, but I think I want to have the conversation in the feelings.
Did I say something that hurt you?
No, I'm just triggered by I'm triggered by society. It's so hard to be a white man. I'm doing my white man complaining. And I'm sorry if I just man talked you.
It's okay. You were just responding. I don't know.
Do you want to respond?
I think I wanted to ask do you think that those friends, do you think that they know about all the people being detained?
Yes.
And you do?
Yeah.
Well, what do they think about it?
They think it's necessary. They think the immigration problem is a problem. And it's bad for the economy. It's dangerous. It's bringing drugs into the country. It's having us have more homeless people on the street.
Do you think that it's necessary?
I think that I think an open bordered society is a dream. I think that's not realistic in our current world. I think that the border was a mess, and it is like we don't live anywhere near it, but like people who live down on the like.
Well, I used to live near the border.
Yeah, I think that I mean, maybe you don't. I'm not saying everybody would feel like that, but like I definitely think, yeah, the border and specifically like the law, the judicial system around our immigration system is a mess, and nobody's actually trying to fix the problem. I think we need to have an efficient immigration system so that we can allow more, like the fact that there's so many people trying to get in here illegally means that our system is not properly set up, because we do need the talent, like we should be encouraging the people, legal immigration, and we should be opening the nets and making the system more efficient. Sorry, I'm done now.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling a little upset right now.
What are you upset about?
I'm just thinking about those people in those fucking concentration camps.
Yeah, it's fucked
people
up.
That are citizens that have been deported with no, like, people are literally buying ice vests on Amazon, and they're going out and pretending to be people, and they're detaining people, and they're bringing them in, and they're getting deported and going to these places. Do you think that should be happening?
No, I don't think that should be happening. And I think that my friends probably don't hear about that, because I had not heard about that specific thing. I had not heard about like people putting on ice vests. It makes sense to me. I'm not surprised that that's happening, but I had never seen that. And I think there are major problems. But I think if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a Trump supporter, it's like, okay, this is it's a necessary part of like fixing the system. That is not how I would, like people getting wrongly detained, and it's like deporting people is going to be messy. If you think we need to deport people, it's going to get messy. It's never going to be easy to deport people. And if you think that is if you think that is necessary for the health of the country, I don't. Me personally, I do not. But I can understand why people would.
I see.
They just see it as a necessary thing. I've had someone tell me my dad is illegal, and if he gets caught and deported, I won't be like. I'm like, we'll see what happens if that actually happens. But
They say what? They won't be what?
They say I think my dad should be deported. I'm not gonna like try to turn him in or anything like that. He doesn't have a close relationship with his father, but he's like, yeah, I think my dad came here illegally, and I think like he should, like if he gets caught, he should get deported. I mean, I can't put myself in that situation.
Whoa.
But it was a father that wasn't really present during,
right.
So I'm just saying I can understand it. It's not how I would go about it, but like
I would probably be pissed too if I was raised in the same country as my parent and they abandoned me.
And were illegal.
And they were illegal. I'd be like, you're not even in your country. You don't even have an excuse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I just think it's more, I think the nerve that you touched is like, I really think we dehumanize people who support different policies than us. And like, it's really important to humanize them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And it's also important to humanize the people that are being, kept in cages and shit too. So I'm not trying to lift one above the other. I'm just saying, like, we should be able to look at each other as humans and then maybe like figure this shit out together,
Yeah. I think you read that I was just surprised.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why you got upset.
No, I think there's a tension between you and I. I think we don't talk about, well, I guess I got a little, this is getting real juicy, but I guess I got a little triggered by you saying you don't think you could be with someone who had opposite politics than you. And I'm like, we don't talk that much about politics, like I don't think we have opposite
oh
politics.
Oh my God, are you about to like fucking whip one out on me right now, babe?
No, I'm saying like
I've been a closeted Republican our whole relationship.
No, but the fact that like I'm a protest voter, like, and you're not, like some people would be very upset with that.
I don't really find it necessary to get upset at you for something that I don't even know how much effect it will have on anything anyway, so.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, we could talk about how much our votes matter. That could be.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get away from politics.
Let's definitely do that. How did we even fucking get started talking about this?
I don't remember.
We better go back and rewind and see who gets.
I don't think it's a bad thing, babe. I think people probably are interested in hearing our political rants.
Okay, maybe they are, yeah. That's fine.
I think that I have important things to say.
Okay, do you want to say anything else?
I think I've been talking enough this episode. What do you want to talk about now?
I don't know, babe.
You could use me. I've got a transition that'll probably annoy you.
Great.
I got a whole new topic.
Let's go for it.
It's just my kind of pulling the ripcord in case of emergency. I could read my essay.
Great. Let's do it. I love that essay.
I mean, yeah.
I love this essay. It is going to change. I mean, it could change the world. It just got published on Substack only like a couple of minutes ago. So, we still have time to get it out there.
Yeah, it could change the whole world. I think that,
Let's do it. You definitely have to read it now, babe.
Oh, give me your phone.
Oh, yeah, you have to read it on my phone?
My phone is taping us.
Oh, correct. That's correct.
This is what happens when I can't think of a transition topic.
It's all good, babe. Did you really publish it? I didn't get it. Oh, here it is. Here you go.
Thank you. This is a piece of like spoken word sort of. I don't know how to describe it, but it's I don't know. It's a piece. It's a writing. It's called The Spirit of the Juggle. The Juggle. I'm chasing the juggle. Every juggler knows what I'm talking about. I've been chasing the juggle so long I'm chasing the dream of the juggle. I worship at the altar of the juggle, striving for excellence, chasing the dream of perfect balance, perfect timing, perfect words to describe what it feels like when you drop into the juggle. When the juggle leaves you and returns, that is joy. I cannot know closeness without distance. Let me do good by the spirit of the juggle. Let me do good by the vague and undefined principles of mystical agnosticism from which the spirit of the juggle was born and will be revealed. We are always building the new world, so let us build a world in which we'd like to live. I missed an article there. The juggle cannot be crystallized into words or contained in a moment. Be grateful for its visitation. I am a space holder. I am just hanging out with the crew saying shit. We are all just tossing it back and forth, dreaming up the juggle together. We did not think it would be easy, but we were promised the thrill of success and the frustration of failure, all on the universe's great pendulum swing. Let this be a poem or an incantation, a worthwhile prayer to the unseen world. Let us understand ourselves enough to know we may never understand ourselves. Teach us with stories of gnomes and wizards, vaguely branded as the cultiverse. You have always been and will always be welcome in the world we juggle together. Let us juggle this reality together with humility and optimism, and at its core, love. Yes, that old indefinable chestnut of a principle, love. May it ever be worth our worship. Let us live this life with the curiosity for the elusive juggle, that state of mind where anything is possible as long as we don't think about it too hard, as long as we don't look at it straight in the juggle. You okay with me having read that?
Nice, babe. How do you feel?
I don't know. I feel a lot.
It's
a vulnerable thing to read, and I kind of just like feel like I pushed myself right into it. But I don't know. I feel like it rings well. I feel like that was a good performance. I will clip this out and I'll put it on my Substack.
Nice.
I felt good. I don't know how'd you feel about it. This is a piece that has caused much consternation between us.
I mean, not like I feel like not the content of it, because I agree with the content of it.
Do you resonate with the content of it?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it's exactly what you were just saying. So I think it was a perfect segue.
It was a segue. I have a fear that it's like the representation of my Joker self. You know? Like that this essay represents that like twisted Joker part of me. And that's why it like caused friction between us.
Yeah, I think that maybe. I think it could be true that that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know? We're opposite in a lot of ways, so I'm like generally I think like I come across as a pretty like reserved person.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to you, and I think you come across as kind of like a jokester.
Yeah.
You come across more, I don't know, lighthearted maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
You think you're heavy-hearted?
Kind of, yeah.
Really? I've never viewed you as heavy-hearted.
Well, I feel like in that I just feel like I'm a very earnest person. I feel like I try to keep it light.
Yeah.
I try to keep it light, and I try to like be aware of the situation that I'm in. You know, like read the energy.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I don't think I don't feel like I'm a social like energy shifter. Like I know that I have like power as a person to impact energy, but like the way that I go about it is very like, it feels like my strength is in the like subtlety and like being in the background, you know, kind of like pulling the like puppet strings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like literally, but
no, I agree.
I'm off the camera.
You're
usually.
off camera. It's true.
Yeah.
And I'm very much on camera.
Yeah.
And I think there's just tension naturally in that.
Yeah, well, I think
I'm sure you want to be on camera sometimes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why do you think we're doing this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that it can be really hard when you're in a couple, because you feel like, I don't know, I think when have been together for a long time, or you're like represented to the world as a unit, you feel like that person is an extension of yourself, even though they're not. So like that's why we have these like big reactions sometimes to like the way that other person is being in a certain situation that might be triggering to us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
I recognize like what kind of I don't know, like what's going on within this, like the conflict with us.
I think part of it is that we're still working out how to be in public. Like we have not necessarily in public, but we've been like, we spent so little time in groups of people and like during the pandemic. I feel like I'm still coming out of the pandemic basically. I feel like since we started,
you say that a lot.
Since we started hanging out, like with having like friends and being in person more, I feel like my inner art, like I have never felt like I am on top of myself. I've never felt like I'm in a good space. Nice one.
Oh my God.
And Kyle's having an attack.
Oh my.
Poor thing.
Something just happened.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but I've never been good at like promoting my art. or promoting myself at all.
Right.
So, which, you know, for somebody who runs a business and wants to like have a, like, you should be good at promoting yourself. So, there's the should text though. Anyway, I feel very inefficient. I feel very, not inefficient, incompetent, fraudulent. I feel like it's fraud syndrome.
Yeah, I think we're both, I think we're just on our journey. We're both growing as people, you know? And I think, like, when you're in a couple, when your partner grows, like, it forces you to also grow, you know?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I think that's just, like, what's happening right now.
Totally.
So, you know what? Good for us for growing, even though growing is a little awkward sometimes.
Thanks for watching us grow, guys.
Oh my God.
Thanks for watching us molt.
Bumping around. Well, this is episode 14, so if podcast years are this 15, if podcast years are the same as
we're in
podcast
puberty.
episodes are, if they're equal to human years.
All right, so yeah,
it makes sense. We're still pretty awkward.
We're still in our awkward teen phase. That could be the title, awkward teen phase. I feel like this is a good one. I feel like we put a lot of passion on the table.
We put it out there, and we'll see who wants to pick it up or
I think that's
come back for more.
Yeah. Who fucking, I don't know. Yeah, the real ones are the ones who make it beyond episode 15. Because this is what, like, it meant too much intimacy. Like, that's the concept is, like, we were gonna show you our whole selves, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you know, I feel like we've mostly been putting our best feet forward, but now we're getting more comfortable.
We're in it. We're spiritually fucking. People are listening. They're, one echo removed of the fucking. Like, it's a whole weird audio orgy that is going on with us right now. Nobody knows what will come of it, but we're going to stick around to find out.
Oh, my God. That was so good. I can't wait to listen back to that little Phoebe's audio orgy.
Great. All right, are you going to put a link to your Substack?
Oh, yeah, I'll put my thing in the Substack.
Yeah, well, I think, I understand now why you were feeling so passionate about, maybe I was having a strong emotional reaction. I have a very, I feel like I get very heart forward and I get very, upset by the one thing that I saw, in the news.
Yeah.
And I think you picked up on that feeling that I was having, and...
Bless you.
And you were like, wait a minute. The dehumanization happens both ways.
It does. It does indeed.
Yeah.
And
it's like...
Go ahead.
It's a hard time together,
What do you mean by that?
I would assume that it's a hard time for everyone.
I think it's a hard time for everyone, yeah.
Definitely. I'm assuming that most of the people on the right side of the field aren't excited about, genocide. They're not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm really bringing my deepest self, which is I do generally believe that most people are good people, and there's some, but the world is round.
We're being fed unhappiness. It's being literally basically unhappiness is basically being mainlined into our fucking arteries. With all the all the information that is out there. We are not built. We're animals, Yeah. We're we're not cyborg. We are just a couple of generations ago, didn't have television. We didn't have screens. Now everything is a screen, and it is constantly talking at you, and it is trying to manipulate you. It is trying to put you in a state where you are in need of something so that you will send your money one way or the other. you know.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a very effective manipulation tactic.
It is. And so I think everyone's unhappy right now. And like it's almost a technological inevitability because it's a very unstable world right now because technology is changing everything.
Well, you know what? I'll say something. You said everyone is unhappy right now. I will say that I am not unhappy right now.
Yes, damn right.
I think I do have my moments of like deep feeling.
Yeah.
You know, but I think generally I feel very grateful for all the blessings that I see every day in my life.
That's a really important reminder. Choose happiness at all costs. You choose to be happy. I think most of the time I do that too, but not always. I have a harder time doing it than you.
I feel like I might also be more unplugged than you.
Unplugged? I've been trying to unplug.
Yeah.
I've been listening to my news podcasts less.
Yeah.
You know. I just got hungry again.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're at 48 minutes, so if you want to wrap it up, we could, or we don't have to.
I think this is a solid episode. I think we could wrap it up. If you want to wrap it up, unless you got more to say.
I mean, I could. I feel like it's been a pretty wild...
It's been a wild ride.
Ride. At least for me it was.
Yeah. You did great, babe. Thanks for coming with me.
I think I do want to just end on like a optimistic note though. You know? Maybe I should tell like a story. Oh, I will tell a story.
Tell me a story.
Okay. So earlier this week I had to go to a design event with a friend who we had like talked about doing this a month ago, which was like doing a little networking together because we're trying to like get ourselves out there and, you know, advocate for our small businesses and be like, we're in the world, like we're doing this awesome thing, like, you know, find the other people. Anyway, I was very nervous about it because this person is just, in my eyes, is like so cool, the coolest.
She is very cool.
And I'm like, obviously this person, when they're inviting me to some like design parties, I'm sure it's going to be like, I have to bring my A game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not my like lazy, like, oh, I work from home most of the time, so I have a pretty chill life.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
not that side of me. I have to go like the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was feeling nervous like kind of all week. Like I knew it was coming up. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, am I prepared? Like, wardrobe wise, like, it's kind of like you talk about like being in your fighting weight for theater. Yeah. It's like, this is kind of like, do I feel sharp? Do I feel like I'm representing myself? Do I feel fresh? Do I feel good about myself? Yeah. You know, like spiritually, how I'm put together, aesthetically, like all the things. Anyway, I was feeling very insecure, and then the friend who invited me, she's like running late, so I have to stall because I wasn't on the list. I was using a fake name, and I was like, I don't even know how small this party is going to be. Like, maybe I'm not going to know anyone. Maybe people won't be wanting to network. It's hard to know, like, what kind of an event it's going to be or what the vibe is. Anyway, so I'm walking I finally decide to go, and I'm like 2 minutes walk away, and I'm like walking. I'm in Soho, and I'm like having a wistful moment. I see this beautiful, like, this bodega that I used to walk by all the time when I lived in the area. Yeah. And they always have great flowers, and so I'm like remembering, like, you know, old photo shoots I used to have down here. And then this guy steps out, this like Asian guy with a camera, and he's like, oh, excuse me, can I take your picture? And I'm like, oh, because this has happened to me.
This has happened to you before.
This has happened to me before. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I will accept it. I'm like, I took it as the compliment that it was, which was like,
letting you know
this guy like saw something in me that inspired him, and he wanted to capture it. And I was like, okay, yes. And anyway, he was a nice guy. He was like, oh, let me get your Instagram. I'll send you the photos. Thank you so much. He was very sweet. And I was like, all right, I got my little boost of confidence before I went to this scary thing. And I was like,
that's good.
Beautiful. which is great in and of itself. But then 2 days later, I mean, the listeners know I don't live in the city. I'm back in the city for some more design things. It's design week and meeting our friends. Anyway, later that night, I got an Instagram message from that same photographer guy. And he's like, hey, I think I saw you on the E train.
Oh, that's right.
I hope you have a great, like he said something like, how funny, like what a small world. Hope you have a great night.
This guy better not be stalking you.
And I was like, okay, yes. Obviously, I was like, first option is this guy's somehow found a way to put a tracker on me and he's stalking me.
Yeah,
and so he's making it seem like there's like this serendipitous thing happening.
If you are watching this podcast, I will fuck you up, all right? I will fuck you up on that E-train.
That's enough.
All right.
But the second option is that he did just see me because I was thinking about it and I was like, I was on the E-train.
You were.
And he's like, I was the guy sitting here. I mean, he didn't like jump out and say like, hi, but I was like, that is crazy to see the same person, a random person it was like an echo of an echo of like a prayer or like a miracle or something.
Like twice in a week. It's something.
It was definitely something. It
was a reminder that you've been a lot on the like you really want to buy new clothes and you've been very much unhappy with how you look. And I think maybe this is a reminder that it's just like, it's not about the material possessions that you own. It's just you have this vibrant light. You vibrate at this frequency that draws people to you, even if you don't look like and by the way, you do look like the most stylish person all the time. You just have an incredibly detailed eye. And that's what makes you so good at your work. That's what makes you special. But sometimes you need the reminder that, like, it's you that's beautiful. It's not your clothes, you know? It's you that is the vibration. It's not what you put on. Like, it all emanates from you. You're the good kitten.
Wow, that's very sweet.
Wow.
You know why I think I believe you?
Why?
It's a very big compliment that you just gave me.
It was.
And normally it's hard for me to take those in.
Wow.
Or to agree even with them. Usually I immediately bat them away. But you know why I think I kind of believe you? Because I saw it today.
What'd you see?
At the Beacon Rising Choir concert.
What'd you see?
Do you remember there was one song? You know, they have a couple solos and like people go up and sing. And some of the people who go up and do a solo, you're like, oh, you know, maybe they're nervous or their voice is a little shaky or they're just, or they're like, or maybe they're like not, or maybe they're not a great singer, but they were like, we want to give this person their moment and they're passionate and we want to spotlight them.
It was very sweet.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I recognize this is happening. But then towards the end, there was one solo, there was one girl that goes in and I can't remember exactly which song it was, but she steps up and this is not going to come out right. So I'm just going to say it though, but forgive me, give me a little grace, people. This one woman goes up and she has like a very like round face kind of. Mm-hmm. She has her like essence has like this round like softness to her. Okay. And she starts singing and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like seeing like she is so sweet. Just like I feel like
it's resonant. It's coming out of her.
And then there was the like culture poisoned part of my brain, culture informed part of my brain that was like looking at her through the like, I don't know, this kind of like sharky vibe of like, oh, do I just think that she's sweet and soft because she has like a roundness to her? You know, like her features are like more round. Is that why I'm thinking that? And then I was like, no, like just look at her. If you just look at someone with an open heart, I'm like, she is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
anyway. Beautiful, babe.
Anyway, I saw it in somebody else. Long story short, I saw it in somebody else, and so I can see it in myself. So I feel very grateful.
That's very sweet.
For that ability.
And I apologize if I complained too much about the lefties earlier. You made them look real cool. Because you're right, it is about accepting, like, that is the beautiful thing about it. Part of me is like, oh, I'm the competitive actor trying to make it this, and I'm, whatever. But, like, it was beautiful that it's just like people got together and they celebrated one another. They just tried their best and they celebrated one another without this whole narrative of, like, it needs to be better. It's like, great, all right, it needs to be better. From some people, if you have the it needs to be better ambition. I happen to be that person. It's annoying. I don't like it all the time. But it's a beautiful thing to not live with that and just to support and celebrate your fellow humans,
Yeah.
And come together as a community, even if it's like, okay, well, this isn't the exact politics that I like. It's beautiful what they're doing. So we should put a link to the Compass Arts website in our thing, so you guys can check it out.
If anyone wants to donate a couple bucks, they provide free art programs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has to pay for any of it, and they come to the school. They bring their own staff, so kids, they can go to after-school programs, and they don't have to, like, change environments or get a ride from someone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a good crew. I bet some of those people are also connected to the Beacon prison rides. I wonder if there's probably some things.
Probably.
All right. I think it's probably about time.
Just give me the signal.
Yeah, this is the best outro we could have come up with. The cats are out, babe. How am I gonna...
They're like yin and yang over there. We love you guys.
I love our kittens.
Okay.
All right, hey guys, this was a fun one.
Okay, the outro. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna talk to our people. It's like you guys came on a real ride with us. Thanks for tuning in.
We did it.
We did.
We made it through episode 15. All of us together.
Next episode's Sweet 16.
Okay. Well, our outro is to take a deep breath and imagine yourself held by the earth.
That's right, folks. You heard it first. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself held by the earth.
And don't forget to exhale.
And don't forget to exhale, because if you don't exhale, then you'll probably, die. All right.
We love you guys. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.